Somebody had asked me if I could do the video for the site plan if you were behind a little bit, so I figured I would give it a shot. I'm going to basically start from scratch here, and I'll put my layers back where they belong. First of all, we want to make sure I've just opened up basically my ANSI template, and I'm going to go to my drawing utilities units and make sure that we're working in engineering. So this is in feet and inches to decimal places, and I'll put 1 decimal place on the angle. Everything else stays the same. So to start out with, we'll go, I've already set up these levels. So if you look in the book on page 396, we've got these additional levels: lots, angular dimensions, labels, linear dimensions, outline. And on the outline, we're going to start with that one. It's yellow, and it's going to be a continuous line style. The road will be green, continuous. The road center line, I'll make this active, will actually have a different line style. So I'm going to click where it says continuous. You can see that's all I have, so I just say load. This is a little easier and simpler. And I want to use a center line. We'll select this one and hit OK. Hit OK again, and now that's loaded center line in as one of our line types. Oops, I was supposed to. There we go. So now center line will automatically show up. It's in cyan color. My road dimensions will be in light blue or cyan. My road labels will be in green. My lots will be in yellow, and I want those to be a border or center, border line. So I'll click here again, hit load, and I think we have a line style called border. Hit OK. This will represent our property lines, and just say load that. Whoops. Hit OK. So now border line will be our lots. Our linear dimensions here will be cyan. Our lot labels will be, let's make those red. Angular dimensions will be light blue. Road labels, outline label, I don't think we actually have any, so outline dimension will make that cyan also. All our dimensions will be light blue. And we'll close this out. So the next thing we're going to do is I want you to type in LT scale, and I want you to put that in at 100. What that does is it scales our line types up so they'll be visible in a civil environment. And I want you to type in the next one. That was LT scale. This one's going to be TEX size, text size. And right now mine from the sample was set to 0.1 inch. I want to put this by default to, let's say 6 feet. So you have to use the foot mark. And we may make some other adjustments as we move along. Let's type in, the next one will be dim style. DIMSTYLE. Right now it's at standard. I want to set a new one, and it's going to be called civil. We want it to be unit format engineering, so it's going to be in feet and inches. Symbols and arrows, I want these to be, let's say 6 feet. So you need to put the foot mark in there. My text will be, let's make it standard text, and we'll make our text height 8 feet. And our primary units are engineering, but we only need them to say maybe, looking at the dimensions we have, let's say to just inches. No decimal place, that should be fine. Degrees should be good. Text is good. Symbols are good. Let's go 8 feet on our arrows though. to be our lines. Now normally we would have set the colors, but our layers are already set up that way, so we'll just leave that the way it is. And we'll just say OK. And set current will make civil our current dimensioning style when we're ready to do that. So let's start with our line tool. And we're going to draw the outline of the border. So we're in our outline level, solid lines. Start with our line tool. And I'll just type in 0, 0. If you want to open up the book to page 397, we're going to type in a distance of 200 feet. Make sure you put that foot mark in there. I've zoomed in already, so if yours goes off the page, you may have to zoom out, do a Z, enter, E, enter for your extents. Now in this one, we need to do a 2-point offset with our XY coordinates, so I'm going to type in the @ symbol, and I'm typing in negative 125 feet, comma, and positive 125 feet. That makes a 45-degree angle. We're going to go straight up a distance of 275 feet. Then we're going to go the @ symbol again for XY coordinates in relative. We type in 125 feet positive, comma, 125 feet positive again. Gives us our other angle. Now we're going to go to the right 325 feet. We go straight down 250 feet. We're going to move to the right 50 feet. Go straight up 125 feet. And we got another 45-degree angle. This one is at 50 and 50, so we're going to hit the @ symbol. We type in 50 foot mark, comma, 50 foot mark, both positive. And we go 175 feet, straight down 175 feet, to the right just 75 feet, straight down 100 feet, back to the left 75 feet, or I'll just come up here and kiss this and come back down until it's perpendicular. And we just go down 25 feet to the left 171 feet. Now we got an odd angle. This one is @ symbol, and this one is going to be negative 54 feet, comma, negative 75 feet. Enter. And I go to the left 175 feet, back down to the original point, which is 75 feet at 90 degrees, and left click. Hit escape. There's our border for our property outline. Now we're going to start our roads. To do that, we're going to use our polyline. We're going to change to our roads layer, which is in green, solid line. And we're going to draw a polyline, basically start at the same point and just let it find these intersection points all the way around to come straight down to here, to this point. And now just hit C on the last point, just hit C and enter so it encloses it. We're going to do an offset now. Because this is a continuous line string or shape, we select offset and then hit enter. Left click here, bring it in 100 feet. And we're going to bring it in 8 feet. And then bring that one in another 8 feet. Hit escape. We're going to take this one and delete it. Now leave these polylines where they are because we'll be able to utilize that. The next shape we're going to draw is again with a polyline, and this time we need to offset it by 49 degrees from here over and down 107 feet. Or I should say 49 feet, not degrees, and down 107. So to do that, I'm going to hold down my shift key out here in space, right mouse button, and select, let go of the shift key and select temporary track point. think I've already selected polyline, but if I didn't. Now we're going over 49 feet. Oh, did it wrong. Start my polyline. Start my polyline. Shift right click, temporary track point. Now I just move it here and move it to the left 49 feet. Enter. And just move it down 107 feet. Enter. There's my start point. So I'm going to go over here 122 feet. Down 107 feet. Back over 122. And then just hit C, enter. And again, we're going to use our offset tool. Hit enter. Here, going in 8 feet. Left click again and go in another 8 feet. Okay. Now that we've got that done, what we want to do is select, I'm going to hit escape, select the center line on this one and this one. Change to your road center line and hit escape. Now that shouldn't be light blue. That should probably be, let me see, road center line. Yeah, I guess that's okay. That'll work. Now, what we're going to do is insert our other line. So I'm going to start with I'm still in my road line here. Start a line here and we'll just let it rest. Come down a distance of 151 feet 5 inches. Inches being the quote mark. And we come over until it touches this edge, gives us that perpendicular snap. Now some people didn't have all of their snaps open, so if you're wondering if it has the right stuff, just type in O-snap. You should have endpoint, midpoint, center, intersection, extension, perpendicular, and tangent. Some people didn't have this midpoint on, so that was giving them some issues. So make sure that that is on by just clicking O-snap. Over here on the other side, this line starts down 68 feet from this top corner, and you'll notice it will line up with this piece. Again, line tool, let it settle, come down 68 feet, and then I'll just move it over until it touches this line. Hit escape. We're going to do an offset. This one will be, I'll hit enter for through. Goes down 8 feet and down 8 feet again. This one goes down 8 feet and down 8 feet. We'll select, I'll hit escape, and I'm going to select the center line on this one and this one. Change to my center line, and it will automatically change those lines for us to the right color and line style. Now let's zoom in here. We need to trim these out, so I'm going to just type in TR for trim. I'm going to hit enter to select all, and I want to trim this line and this line. Now if I hold down my shift key and select this line, it will extend. See, shift select is extend. So we're going to do that on all these intersections. Trim, trim, shift, extend. And over here, whoops, trim, trim, shift extend. So there's our roads. The next thing we're going to do is put our road labels on. The book has some internal dimensions, but I'm going to hold off on that. We'll just put the outside dimensions. So we're going to put our road labels on now. So we're going to change to our road label level. I'll zoom in here. And I want to use multi-line text. So if you drop this down, you want to select multi-line text. And I'll show you why in a second. And you just stretch a box out here, any size. And I'm going to type in the word peach, all caps, drive, and just left click anywhere. Ooh, didn't show up very good, did it? Let's select our attributes, select our text. So I went right, oops, hit escape here. I want to show you where I got that. Annotation, text. And I think it's because the height is still set. We're going to set this to 6 feet. I had set it on the dimensions and I forgot. There's that text right there. I'm going to delete that one. We'll go back to our multi-line now. Sketch this box out. We're going to type in Peach Drive and just left click here. There's our text. If I select this, I'm going to bring this arrow over. So it's right about here. And if I right click on this and say Properties, what I'm going to tell it in multi-line text is down here at the bottom, it says Background Mask. And I want to change that to Use Background Mask and use Background Color. What that'll do is any time I put the text over something, it will hide what's in the back. I'll just say OK. Close this out. And if I want to move this, I want to grab this handle up here and just move it down into the road. Oops. Have to zoom. If it tries to snap to something, just zoom out a ways. So you'll see how that kind of hides everything in the background. Now Peach Drive is also the drive coming in. So I'm going to select Copy. We'll grab it right here and move it down. We're going to put that one right here. If you're, unfortunately, this thing. The other thing I should change on this, I'm going to right click and go to Properties and change this to Center, Middle Center Justified. That way it'll stay centered. So if I copy this again, over here, this is actually going to be Cherry Drive, but we don't care. This one is actually going to be Cherry Drive. And up here is Oak Loop and Oak Loop. So to edit that, I'll just double click and I'm going to type in Oak Loop. Do the same thing down. Whoops. Whoops. Yes, let's save it. And Cherry Drive. All I'm doing is just double clicking that. You notice how this one got boxed out? All you need to do is just pull this arrow out a little bit until it gives itself enough room. Again, just pull the arrow out. There's our road labels, all in the right spot where they should be. And they block out any lines in behind them, so that looks good. Turning to page 400 now, we're going to put some dimensions on here for our lots. But before we do that, we need to actually put our lot lines in there. So let's change to our lots. We've got this border line. A couple of the easy ones from the book where we can snap point to point. This next line is over from this point to the left 150 feet. Just bring it down until it's perpendicular. We've got a line from this corner over here perpendicular. I'm going to hit enter. We do another line over here 100 feet and it comes down right to that center point, I believe. And yeah, from that center point to this point, and then from this point to this point perpendicular. That's the upper ones. Now on this lot here, it's from the center of this point to this point. So if I select my line, you'll notice it gives me a triangular shape. It says you're centered. So I'm going to left click here and left click here. got a line from this point down, and another line. I'm just hitting enter to repeat that last command. And then from this, if I hit enter again, what I'm going to do is just start here, let it settle, and come down until it finds that point. And then a point from the corner of this road to this corner. And enter. Another lot here. And enter. Lot there. And finally, we have a lot 110 feet over from this corner. So we go over 110 feet, enter, and come straight down, actually right in the center of that oak loop. There's our properties. So now we're going to dimension these. So I'm just going to change to my lot's linear dimension. I'm not going to bother with the angular dimension. Notice this automatically changes up here. Select our linear dimension. I'm just going to start on this outside and go point to point. Come up to where it says about to here. I don't want to go out too far because and then I'm going to type in DIMCONT, dimension continue, so I can dimension to this point, and to this point, and to this point, and to this point, this point, and this point. We're going to do the same thing vertically. So, hit the enter key. Oops, I guess I got to check the linear dimension again. Again, I don't want to pull these out too far because we only have so much paper space. DIMCONT, dimension continue. And we'll go right to the edge of the road. Ooh. Oh, that's right, 107 foot 7 inches. 16 feet, 151 5 inches, and 125. You want to be careful you don't accidentally snap to the end point of a dimension because those actually have a little gap on them. See how that gap? And if you snap to this, it's going to give you the wrong dimension. So make sure you see a square snap on that rather than an endpoint snap. I'll show you that probably right here. See how that gets square? But if I get over here too far, it might give me this tangent. So what you want is the square, and then we'll go to this point, bring it down, and DIMCONT 62.6, 100 feet, 100 feet, 25 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet, 54 feet, 122, 49, 75. If I go look at my layout, nothing shows up, which, even though I'm kind of jumping around here, I want to go make sure this is going to fit on my layout. So the first thing you can do, if you don't see your building on here, your lot layout, go to Layout and select Polygonal Viewport. This is your viewports. So I'm just going to start here, to here, to here, to here, to here, and to here, and then hit C and enter. There's my plot. And I'm going to hit right here where it says paper. I'm going into my model. I'm going to turn off that grid pattern. You can see it's pretty tight. If I pull this up now, you'll see I have a scale of 1 inch equals 100 feet. You probably don't have that on your machine. I'll make one that's 1 inch equals 50 feet so you can see how it's done. But actually, let's go to this one and say edit. Yours, you'll say add. I'm going to go edit. And I'm going to type in 1 inch equals 100 feet. So one paper unit, meaning 1 inch on the paper, is going to equal 100 feet in scale. And we have to balance it. So how many inches are there in 100 feet? 1,200. If it was 1 inch equals 50 feet, then it would be 1 to 600. So those ratios are consistent. Hit OK. And what I want to do is now select 1 inch equals 100 feet. You'll notice my picture shrinks down now. If I hold my middle wheel in, I can kind of pull this up, and I can see that these dimensions over here I've got to pull up a little bit and to give me some room. So I'm going to kind of scrunch this to the corner just a little bit. Go back to my model, and I'm going to select some of these dimensions and just pull them up so they're tighter. Just grab that blue handle, rotate it. Now if we go back to my layout, you'll see that those dimensions now show up correctly, or within view. So now we'll do some dimensions up the vertical side. Again, I don't want to go out too far. DOM, dimension continue. Got a couple dimensions in here we want to put in. Let's say I want to make some changes on this dimension. I want all my dimensions to be in line. So I'll just type in dim style, say modify, and what I want to say is align my dimensions in the line and just say OK, and then hit set current and close. What you'll notice now is my dimensions will realign themselves so that they're vertical in the settings, so they follow the dimension line. So you don't have to redo everything, you just make a change and it automatically updates the dimension styles that you're using right now. So we'll see. Everything else I think they can figure from these outside dimensions. I'll just put a little dimension in here. That should be okay. I don't want to cross any lines if I can help it, so that's probably enough for the dimensions. If I go to my layout, I can see everything fits. I'm going to go back now, and the last thing I'm going to do is put in my lot labels in red. And for these, I want my text to be 12 feet. So I'm just going to go back to my annotation, select this, and change this to 12 feet instead of 6. Hit apply. Set current and close. And I'm going to type in with just my single line text. Hit enter. I'm just going to type in the number 1. Oops. And what I'm going to do is put a circle around that. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to hit escape. Just select it. And make sure that in my properties this is center justified. Let's say middle center. Okay. Now we'll put a circle around this. I'm just going to just anywhere in the center come out 8 feet. Whoops. Too small. Try it again. Let's try 18 feet. There we go. And what you're going to do is select this. Take your copy tool. You're going to copy this to every lot on the property. Should be, I think, 19. These are all going to be labeled by number. Did I get them all? I think so. Hit escape. If you look in your book, you'll notice that if I double click on this now, I can type in 2. Click, double click, 3, oops, not 33. 4 and 5 and 6, 7. This is lot 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, click, 16, oops, 17, 18, and 19. Everything fits in. Go back to our layout. Whoops, didn't really want to move that around, so I'll just kind of juggle it just a little bit. I'm going to double click on my title. Now, some people have had some issues with this, so you may need to reinsert your title block if it doesn't come up like this. So my title is going to be Site Plan. I'll call it Site Plan 2. Sheet number, I'm going to call it Sheet 2. It's actually a homework assignment. Scale. We know this is 1 inch equals 100 feet. And everything else, I'll change the date to February 19th. And hit OK. That looks good. It's a little tight over here, but hopefully the TA won't mark that off on me. And I'm going to go back here, put a title on here in the lot labels, and we're just going to call it the White Oak Subdivision. Left click on, oops, escape, there we go. I'm just gonna, I know it should fit right there. We'll just go take a look at our layout. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, what we're going to do is print this with our pen tables. So I'm going to say File, Print, Adobe. It's got my pen table already added here, so that should work. So if I do a preview and click this, zoom in, there's my nice line weights. My line scale's not showing up here, and this isn't showing up. So let's go back here to our model, hit escape, and line weights, and whoops, cancel that. I'm going to type LST, LTS scale. Let's make sure that's set to, that's 100, so PSLT scale should be set to 0. PSL, that's your plot scale. If we do that, I'm just going to do a file save here real quick so I don't lose anything. Now if I do a file, print, preview, there's my line scale, line types, and they're scaled properly. So if you want to make it bigger, you could actually hit escape. If I typed in LS LTS, hit enter, and I put in 150. Let's see what kind of difference that makes. Zoom in. Should make it a little bit bigger. I do a layout, file, print, preview. You can kind of mess with those a little bit to see how your lines will look. If everything looks good, you can hit print. And again, the other way to do this is to do a file, export, PDF, I'm going to put this in my site plan. I'm going to call it Site Plan 2. Hit save. It'll actually save it, and it actually opens it up in Adobe, I think. No, maybe not. It's still thinking. There we go. So now I can see, it looks a little funky here, but if you actually zoom in, you'll see that your line weights are good. I can turn off my lot lines, I can turn off my labels, I can turn off my road or my road labels. Anything I want to turn off, I can. And then I can just print this out and turn it in this way. So this is assignment for the site plan for this week, and that should give you some help if you need it to finish that up. Alright, thanks.